Lewis Williams, last time we saw you on a tennis court was at the British Open, where you lost in 5 sets to Bertie. How did you recover from that particular match, and what lessons are you taking from it into this tournament?
Ooh, good question. How do I recover? I think, as with all things, you're going to win and lose some matches at times, and whilst it's disappointing, I think you've just got to get back on the horse, as they say, and just go again. But yeah, like you say, try and learn some things. I think my preparation for the British Open wasn't ideal. I'd come off the back of some injuries from the French, and then I had some COVID leading up to it, and I probably wasn't practicing or able to practice quite as much as I would have liked. So yeah, despite this being around just after Christmas, I made a real point of trying to practice lots and stay as fit as I could, and hopefully I'll see that pay off with the match against Claire. Hopefully I'll play well in that.
So this will be your 5th Australian Open. What is it that brings you back to Australia every year?
I didn't know it'd been that many. The weather's great, the people are great, always very welcoming. It's nice to get away from the English weather, so that's a bit of a bonus this time of year. I think we've got 28 degrees here, I think it's -2 back home. I know where I'd rather be, so yeah, nice to come back.
So it's going to be your first time playing in Hobart. You've had a couple of days to get used to the court and prepare. How are you finding it out there?
Yeah, so my first time in Hobart was really exciting. That was another reason I was keen to come to this event as well. The court, I had a hit yesterday with Ben Matthews. That was the first one, always a bit of a challenge. You're still kind of trying to get over jet lag and you're just trying to get your body moving again. But yes, it's a slightly quirky court, I'd say. It's got a few interesting features, but getting used to it, and I'm looking forward to another hit today. And I think I've got 3 days of practice, 6 hours, so I'm hoping by Monday I'll be pretty comfortable out there.
How does it compare to, say, Melbourne? Not just in terms of the court, but in terms of the environment and the way that you're going about preparing for a tournament?
Yeah, well, I've been to Melbourne a few times now, and I know the pros there pretty well, and a lot of the members, and it feels pretty comfortable. Here, it's been quite a good experience just getting to know loads of new people and new faces, and been lots of fun, but I guess I'm not quite as familiar with it yet, so it's kind of all fresh, so I feel like I'm learning where everything is, and where the local shops are, and where it's good to get coffee and all that sort of stuff. But yes, it's been really, everyone, like I say, been really friendly. I think they're quite excited to have the tournament, so yeah, so far so good.
Your best result at the Australian Open was 2 years ago. You made the semi-final against Chris Chapman.
Yeah.
This time around, you put a first-round match against Claire.
Uh-huh.
You last played Claire, I believe. It would have been 3 British Opens ago. Went to 5 sets.
Yeah.
How have you changed as a player since that last match against Claire and since your semi-final against Chris Chapman?
How have I changed as a player? The one when Claire and I played last time at the British Open, that had been quite a while back. I probably lost a decent amount of weight since then, so hopefully a little bit better around the court, as in speed-wise and mobility-wise. Probably a little bit stronger as well, so that those things hopefully bode well. I think maybe not tons of changes since I played Chappers, just been practicing lots, getting a bit more consistent, and I think in general just trying to develop my sort of floor game to be that little bit better, because against someone like Claire who's very good on the floor, if there's too many weaknesses she'll find you out, I think. I think my volley as well has got a lot better in recent times, the last sort of year or two. Hopefully all those things will slide into place and I'll play well, but we'll see.
What does success look like this week for you?
I think first things first is get through Claire. I think that's, out of all the first round matches, I think that's commonly agreed to be the one of the tougher draws I could have had. Make sure I get through that one, and then if it goes to seedings, I'd play Bente Matthews next. Obviously he's a very good player. I don't think I've ever got a set of them, so that'd be a nice place to start and just give him a good challenge if I can. But like I say, first things first, try and get there.
In the doubles, teaming up with John Woods-Casey, I don't think you've played together before.
Correct, yeah. So that should be exciting. We're good friends off court, so excited to play together for this one.
How do you prepare for a doubles like that where you've not necessarily played before or had the opportunity to train together?
We trained together a decent amount. So he came to Leamington for probably 6-8 weeks a little while back. So we trained together a decent amount. And at tournaments we often hit together quite a bit. Like I say, we're good friends and similar sort of level tennis players. So That worked pretty well. I think tactically we kind of roughly know what we're doing, we know what each other do and how we'll slide in together quite well. So I think we'll be okay.
How do you envisage shaping up as a pair and partnership?
Well, he tends to play, be pretty comfortable up the galleries and plays a lot of his doubles up there, and I tend to play most of them at the back, so that feels like quite a natural place to kind of put us both. And then, again, doubles is kind of largely similar. If you kind of know your role, which we both do, I think we'll be okay. We'll have a sit down and have a chat about some points, and tactics and choices and various positions, and I think we'll be okay.
And how do you appraise how this season has gone so far for you?
So far for me, I'd say it's been okay. Like I say, disappointed with the loss against Bertie at the British. Other than that, fairly happy overall. It feels like it's still only early days. I guess we're about halfway through, right? But so far not too bad. Would like to have won that match to the British, but I guess this one's kind of a chance of redemption. Another tough match. No easy matches these days. So hopefully come out on top this time instead.
And where have you got your eyes looking for tournaments in the first part of this year, the second half of this season?
Plan to play as much as I can again. Got the Secret Silver Racket in February, which will be good fun, and then the next sort of big one is the US Open, which I'd like to try and attend in Westwood, another court I've been to, so I hope to make that one, hopefully stay injury free and make myself available for that.
This is the first tournament of the new world race. You've got ranking points available in a tournament where perhaps we don't have some of the absolute top players. Do you see this as a chance to build up some ranking points?
Yeah, potentially. I think there's enough of the top players that we've got Cam, Ben, Rob. It's not like nobody's turned up. There's some pretty good players out there. But it certainly doesn't hurt the fact there's a few people not attending can potentially make up some ground on some of those guys. So hopefully, like I said, I think I just focus on what I'm doing and try and play as many as I can and win as many matches as I can. And I think if you do that, what everyone else does around you is kind of by the by, really.
All right, Lewis Williams, thank you very much.
Thanks, Ben. Cheers.